Welcome back, guys, and we're starting this episode with Timelapse. We're straight into it, and we're going straight down into the underworld. And as you can see, I have been hard at work. Now, I've already done about just over 2 hours at this point. So you can see this it takes a while. And what I'm doing now, I've scattered some boulders kind of around the outside. And I'm just kind of lifting the terrain up around them, and I'm starting to create some. Are they stalagmites or stalactites? I can't remember. I'm sure you guys will tell me. I can never remember which one's up and which one's down. Now you're probably looking at them at the moment and thinking, yeah, those don't look very good. Don't worry. It'll develop. Now this video in total, you're gonna see about what? Like the culmination of about 6 hours work all together, because I did a couple of hours of like R&D, just messing around with different ideas and stuff, and then I put in like a couple of hours before this video started, and then you get in like another couple of hours building on top of that. So yeah, there's quite a lot to it. And that bit that I was just doing on the wall, if you look at places like the Carlsbad Caverns and places like that, you'll see that like where water drips down the walls, that you get a build up, the same as you do with stalagmites and stalactites, where water's dripping like from the ceiling, and you get these build ups on the edges. Now here is where I start playing around with one of the actual stalagmites and start basically sharpening them so that they look a bit better. And I don't know what you think, guys, but once you play around with these a little bit and take all the smoothing off and get some sharp edges on there and some sharp points and stuff, these start to look quite good. And by the time I've finished, I'm hoping that you guys are going to say, yeah, this is headed in the right direction. And this... But I've started to realise just how much work there is involved in doing this. Because like, you can't just pull up like stalactites and stalagmites like really easily. You've got to like individually chisel each one. So it's very, very labour intensive putting these together. And yeah, but you'll kind of see by the time you've done all of this, and then you do some texturing, and then you do some colouring, and then wait until we get into the whole special effects, guys, because that is going to rock your world, I think. Once you see, because it's not the volcano is not just going to be what you see at the moment. Oh no, there's a whole nother level to it, and it's not even finished yet. You'll see that there's quite a lot of red showing. When this is finished, there won't be that much red. There'll only be like little bits here and there of lava. And I've got some other stuff that I'm going to do to it, which you'll see later in the video. And seriously, I will be amazed if you guys don't like it. Seriously, I'll be amazed if you don't like it. I have had one comment on the last video saying, your volcano's horrible. Which is kind of okay. Thanks, thanks for all the hours that I put into it. It's horrible. Yeah, well, it's not finished yet. Wait till it's finished before you rip it to pieces. When it's done, I think you guys are gonna like it. So what I'm doing is like, as well as doing the stalactites, I'm taking certain angles and then using the chisel tool to kind of chisel the ground as well in certain ways. I want this to feel very much like, well, as you can see, I mean, it's kind of like a bit of a boulder field with a volcano in the middle and stalagmites and stalactites. Now, I'm doing these little ones, but there are going to be some big ones as well, and I'm going to do one for you in this video. But again, it's a kind of a labour-intensive process. So it's like, and it's kind of repetitive as well. It's like doing these, it's like there's so many to do Like, do you really want to watch hours and hours and hours? Right, okay, so here we go. So I'm going to try and do a floor-to-ceiling joined stalagmite and stalactite. So what I'm doing is I'm flattening the ceiling so that I can use the well, what is it? The surface lock. The surface lock. The problem is I didn't take it all the way down, which is what I should have done. And so then I had to faff around trying to get a flat surface again so that I could like bring down the bottom part of it. There we go. And then, there we go. And then it's a case of chiseling this to make it look like a proper stalagmite, stalactite floor to ceiling. Now, I think you'll see that once I start working on this, that like the bottom of it, I'm not trying to do this in like I guess a photorealistic way or a geologically realistic way. This is a fantasy build, so I want this to have an element of the whole, you know, Carlsbad Caverns-y kind of thing, but I also want it to. I'm also prepared to do things just because they kind of look good, even though they're not necessarily geologically perfect. And as you can see, this process takes a while. It's very, very difficult to kind of do this quickly. So I tried turning up the intensity, and you end up like chiseling away like big chunks of the rock, and it's not right. And to get like a nicely balanced effect, you have to keep going round and round, or at least I do. Like I've said, sculpture is not my strong point. In fact, it's my weak point. So I'm kind of doing my best here. But I want this to be like relatively thin in the center. And then, you know, like, I just want it to kind of look like it might exist, you know. But a fantasy type thing. So yeah, well, you can see. I mean, but this is sped up quite a lot, and it's still taking quite a long time. And I've got it down to just about the thinnest you can get it in the center. And then it's just a case of like shaping it top and bottom and getting rid of any little knobbly bits to try and get it good. And then I'm trying to kind of shape it into the ground. And this is where it's not like, if this was a real stalactite, it wouldn't do that. It would be. I'm sure you've seen them. You know what they look like. They're pretty even on the ground. Although you will have kind of ridges on them, but you wouldn't have that kind of ground broken up the way I did it. Anyway, I decided that since my hand was killing me at that point, that I'd do something else. So I thought, a couple of you said, you know, the lake idea sounds like a really good one. So I thought, you know what, it really does, I think. And it's going to enable me to take the water down on this side and take it across. So I thought we'd throw a lake in and have the hammer swing sitting in the middle of the lake, which is kind of cool. And I think it turned out pretty cool, like particularly when I put the entrances and extras. The exit went on perfectly, and there's just a little bridge. And then I had a little play around with the queue. And I wanted the queue to kind of fill that area just like that. So then I started playing around with this. Now look at what the path is doing between the entrance and the path itself. First of all, it had like a kink in it, which was really horrible. And then the terrain, for some reason, is doing like really not nice things on the edge of the path. And so I tried taking it down, but when you put it back in, you still get a little bit of nasty terrain. And that's something I'm going to have to play around with a lot more. So in the end, I decided, okay, enough of that. I'll play around with that offline. And continued with messing around with the terrain, because I don't want this to be like all flat and whatever. And we're going to have, you know, lots of trees. Yes, we're going to have lots of trees around the place. This is supposed to be, at the end of the day, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So it's all water and trees. That's the whole idea. But right now, we're going to go back to some live action. So, I've run it on a little bit so that it's just getting dark. And this is about the first... Well, it's the first time I've seen it with the rides in the dark. And oh my god, I mean, the lighting on the radius is freaking sweet. I gotta say, I don't think the green works. I think the green's going to have to get replaced with the blue. I think just blue and white across the frontage. What do you think? I just don't think the green kind of works. You know, let's play with the little section. So duplicate those two. Bring them up a touch. Boom. Right, how does that look? Let's just take it off pause for a second. Yeah, well, I don't know what you think. I think that looks so much better than with the green. The green, I don't think the green works at all. But I think the mixture of the blue and white works really well. And remember, we're also going to have the white spotlights, but like pointing flat. Like that. There we go. That's what we want. And that illuminates it beautifully. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Oh dear. See, and once I start, I just can't stop. Let's get this one looking good as well. There we go. And then instead of this kind of dull grey, it's properly lit up and looking good. All right, let's get out of the building. Come on, go away. And you, there we go. Oh, one too many. Yeah, way better, way better. Now, talking of lighting, what we're going to do now is we're going to go down into the pit, where it's very, very dark, and the reason that I've run it on to nighttime to come down here. And you can kind of just about see a few things. There's that stalagmite, stalactite joined together. Still needs work. Still needs work. Well, I'll have talked about this during the time lapse, so I'm not going to go on about that. But what I wanted to do was come down here and play around with the lighting just a little bit, because there's going to be a fair amount of lighting needed to be done down here of all kinds of types, and I just wanted to see like how this lighting kind of behaves. So if we sink you down into here, man, it is kind of hard to see, isn't it? And then play around with the rotation. Now see, that is probably where we would want that, just so that we light up these kind of lava areas. But man, that's gonna another job that's gonna take freaking hours and hours. Let's do another one. Let's do another one for fun, because it kind of is fun, let's be honest. Let's get one more. I just wanted to play around with it with you guys. I like when I'm like doing it for things for the first time, I like to kind of do it with you guys, and then we'll kind of figure out how we want to do it, and then I'll go to the, do the rest in time lapse and stuff. So let's move you across a little bit. So you're going to need lights shining in like both in, well, probably in 3 directions to like fully light these. So let's angle this so that we get, there we go. That's more like it. And sink it down. There you go. That's better. That's much better. Do we want to angle it round this way a little bit? No, that's probably about right. Yeah, but you're gonna need a lot of lights in here to properly light this stuff. Holy hell. Boy, have I created a job for myself. Should you do another one? Yeah, let's do another one, because they're kind of fun. When I did the lighting on the last one, I had a huge amount of fun playing around with lighting that. Let's angle it down so we can see. Okay, so this one we probably want kind of, I don't know, like about there-ish kind of thing. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, there-ish, I think. Is it worth rotating it at all? Yeah, about there. And once we get a bunch of those lit, I think this is going to start to look quite good. Now, like right now, you know what? I will already have talked about. I've got to stop talking about this because I will have already have talked about it during the time lapse. I'd like to light this or some of the stalagmites and stalactites as well. Let's see if we can't do something so that we can actually see this damn thing. Now, yeah, there we go. Man. Jeez, you suddenly realise how big this freaking thing is. Wow. Okay, so if we rotate this up and then let's rotate it forward. Ah, now we just start to get it. So we bring it in and sink it down and then rotate it back so that it's shining up the pillar. Ah, now we kind of get a little bit. Jeez, this is going to take a lot of lights. Okay, yeah, I have got my work cut out for me, guys. Ay, nightmare. Let's get out of there, because it's too damn dark to do anything down there. So, yeah, like, I'm going to have to come back to the lighting down there, because I think I'm going to have a bit of a play around with it. But you can, this is why I like doing it with you guys, like the first time, so that you can kind of see the kind of issues that I'm going to have with that. That's going to make an interesting time-lapse sequence, I think. Like lighting the cave up bit by bit. Should be quite cool. What else? What else can we do? What else can we... Oh, I know what I was thinking of doing. Now, these frontages along here. Now, do you remember when I like did these? I was saying, oh, you know, we'll duplicate this and put it in here. But with the way that I've put the paths in and stuff, I'm realising that I haven't got quite as much space up here as I thought I was originally going to have. So I'm now thinking. See, I would like to take this in and have these stairs up there, but that's, you know, again, that's going to be another time lapse sequence for sure. And putting the fountain in because it's going to take a while. Let's just have a little play around with spacing and kind of see like what we can do. So we definitely want to bring this this flooring out by 1. That's for sure. Now the question is, do we make this stream wider? And like looking at it, that's kind of a bit thin, isn't it? I think that needs to be. I think that needs to be wider. I think that needs to be maybe 3 wide, coming out here, and then maybe 2 along here. We're going to have waterfall going off the edge of here into the reflection pool down there. These stairs will be brought all the way along. And then there'll be a flat edge across here that the waterfall will be going down. The stairs will be brought along here, obviously. I need to put the stairs in here. Yeah, that's going to be the next time lapse, I think. Is going to be putting all that stuff in. And then, well, it's probably going to be a combination of that and doing some more of the good old underworld. Man, when I thought about doing the underworld, I thought, yeah, you know, do a bit of volcano, do some stalagmite stuff. Like, yeah, it shouldn't be too much. Yeah, right. Like, it's gonna take a ridiculous amount of time. But that's the fun of it, isn't it? Like, if it's easy, it's no fun at all. And that's a lie, because it would still be fun even if it was a lot less work. Who am I kidding? Right, so let's bring this path around here. Now, see, you can see how close I am to this now, and that is actually a bit of an issue. So I think I'm going to have to reposition that. So let's take this all the way up. Whoops. And that kind of tells me instantly that I'm going to have to put all of this kind of stuff in. Oh, that's in the wrong place. Let's get rid of you, move you, and move you. I'm going to have to put all of these in around like the whole place. So that I know exactly what the footprint of the building is. Because otherwise I'm going to keep running into this problem with kind of everything that I do. I think we're just going to have like an inside edging on this. I don't think there's going to be an outside edging on this. Yeah, but there does need to be. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what kind of decoration should be around there. I think it's probably going to be okay as it is. What we are going to have is some kind of fountains going on, like these ones. Now, is it going to be the same as these? Nah, it'll be something different. And I'm thinking they're probably going to be like quite small. In fact, it might just be the small ones. Before we end. I knew there was something else I wanted to do. Let's get out of there for a second. And yeah, so I'll now I've kind of explained the issue. I can come back and do that in a time lapse. Now this I want to have a play around with. So let's pick one that we've lit. So like this one down here. What I wanted to see was, what does it look like when you add scenery, visual FX. Let's try a large and see how a large looks. Yes, we're putting in flames, obviously. So let's put it, you know what? Let's put it up here and then we'll position it because it'll be easier. So, because I'm going to have to rotate this to get it right. So let's tip you that way a little bit and that way a little bit. And then we sink you down. So you're just underneath. And come that way a bit and come that way a bit. Cool. Right. What does that look like when you turn it on? Ooh. Oh, now we start to see the full effect. Oh, that's not bad. That is... Come on, guys. That's not bad, is it? With the lighting and the red tile underneath and then the flames. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I've got to do another one. Sorry. I've got to do another. Oh, this one's lit as well. All right, cool. Let's do this one then. So, let's take another large one again. Oh, let's pause it because I don't want it getting out of hand. So, let's take you and let's just rotate you first and get you aligned kind of properly. We want to... Oh, actually, that's about right. And then we sink you down. No, that needs to rotate this way a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah. There we go. Then sink it. Ah, there we go. It could probably do with like a tiny shade more. There we go. That's bang level with the tile. Okay, so that's underneath. Cool. Alrighty. Oh, yeah. Oops. Wrong key. Try that again. Oh, I think this is gonna work, guys. And like here, we could put a little medium one. Now, there are, like right now, there are too many little holes, right? But as I carry on with this, let's pause this. As I carry on with this, I'm going to be filling those in. Now, the other idea that I had, as well as using these flame effects, was to use the small version of the flamethrower. And I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. Having used that one, I think we'll probably end up using that. But I don't know. Let's put one in. So here, where we've got like a tiny little hole, rotate you like that, and that's probably yeah, it's pretty bang on already. Okay, so we want to move you a little bit that way, and then a little bit down there. Now, unlike the water ones, with the water ones, I don't mind the nozzle showing, but with these, I don't want the nozzle showing. So let's turn you on. Oh, you just get a little bit of flame coming out of there. Oh man, just imagine when like the whole thing's done. Oh my god. Love it. Now up here, this bit around here, now I've built this up. Well, again, stop talking about this, you'll already have talked about it. I need to kind of make this a little bit more uneven with the flames, I think. So how about if we take now the other thing that I'm definitely going to be using is the burst flamethrower, but I'm saving that one. But I think we will have some of these placed around the edge, just creating kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's going to create it, whatever it is. Like a kind of just a bit of randomness around this kind of edge area. Now let's turn that on and see. Yeah, you know what? That's not too bad. I think it needs to be a bit further down, and I think it needs to come a tiny bit further out. I'm thinking kind of like that. Maybe there, and then sink it down even more like that. So you kind of get a bit of a bulge at the bottom. Yeah. You see the effect that I'm going for. All right, cool. Okay, so that works good. The lighting stuff it works in the volcano. I don't know about the rest of the place. It's going to take a hell of a lot. These little fires work really nicely. I like those. Now there was one other thing that I wanted to do, which was with the bursts, and I kind of need to find, like, I don't know. I need to find kind of like one of the kind of sort of little holes that I was making, and it's kind of difficult in the dark, so bear with me for a second. But I don't know, like somewhere kind of I don't know. I don't think this is like the best place, and I probably will have to tamper with this a little bit. But yeah, we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. So what I was thinking was we'd take something like this. So let's just sink that down there, and that needs to be rotated just a fraction that way, and then there we go, and then sunk down a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so ooh, see, I mean you put maybe a couple more around there. Oh, liking it, and then what I was thinking was, where are we? We take a burst flamethrower, and I want this coming out of somewhere kind of sort of like almost kind of semi-hidden. So let's pop you kind of in here. I probably have a couple more of these flames in here, but you'll get the idea. So I'm gonna want to rotate this that way a little bit, and then pop that down in there. Right. So let's see. So I mean, what I'm doing this for is a coaster ride. So you imagine you know the coaster's coming around, and oh, you get those gouts of flame. Yep. You know what? I might move that. Well, it would probably be there, but what I'm thinking is if you put it in the middle of one of these that's already got a flame there. So I suppose I should have put one of these over there, but if we put one of these there and then sink it down. Oh, what do you think? Does it need to be down a little bit so that it's not going quite so high? Yeah. Now what I'm thinking is to have maybe not too many of these, but where I do have one, I'll probably have 2 or 3 of these around like a rock like this or whatever. But I think what we'll do with this one, maybe, is bring it over to this side. Now that one or this one? Maybe this one. And then maybe sink it down further. Yeah, I think that'll do. Oh, see, you got the smoke coming up. I mean, is this starting to, you know, be a little bit like the pits of hell? That's kind of the idea. Do we want a bit more smoke in there? Smoke small, smoke medium. Yeah, let's try a smoke medium. Let's see what a smoke medium looks like. Let's take it off pause. Ooh. Yeah, I think so. I think so. But man, all these particle effects are going to do no favours to my PC. That's for sure. You know, I don't know. Do we need the extra smoke? I think it's kind of cool, but do we really need it? I'll put that one in. I wish you could unsync these bursts. And I think maybe they need to be angled a little bit or whatever. That's something I'm going to have to play around with and tinker with. How does the where's the bits that I've got the flames going on? Where's the oh, there they are. Oh, yeah, once you get the flames going. Just a few of these. Like I said, there's too many of these at the moment, and I'm going to be picking little individual ones and closing the others off. Where's the... Oh, there's the bulgy bit. We'll put some more bulgy bits in to make it like a bit more uneven. But then the actual pillar of flame itself, we do kind of want that to be like fairly extreme. Let's lift up a little bit. You know what? Let's switch to free cam. Yes. I'm thinking the coaster's going to be like spiraling around that, either up or down or something. Alright guys, that, I'm afraid, is all I've got time for, otherwise you won't get an episode tonight. But I've got to say, I think in terms of showing you like this far, I think you see where I'm going with the whole underworld thing. I can't wait to see your comments, see what you think of it. And... yeah, so I think you've got a really good idea of where the park is going to end up now. You know, we're going to have these, we're going to have the waterfalls, we're going to have the sunken terraces. That's pretty much what it's going to be, you know, adding in trees and those kind of decorations, decorating the rides. And then underground, it's going to be all like that. And am I going to put... a couple of people suggested putting the Forge ride down there. Brilliant idea, guys. That's the kind of idea that I want. So, there you go. That's the park so far. I'm going to try and find more hours to spend on this because I want to get this done a bit faster. I'll catch you for the next one. Peace out.